I hope you enjoyed Get Out. But now is on to another film by the fantastic Jordan Peele, where he tackles another monster. According to Oxford Dictionary, the definition of a monster is an imaginary creature that is typically large, ugly, and frightening. As we saw from Get Out, some monsters can look like you and me. And sometimes monsters are like what Oxford Dictionary describes as large, ugly, and frightening. Let's take, for example, the monster from Us. This monster is so large, it can be seen in every country in the world. Its appearance is so ugly that you can't even look at the victims in the eyes after it destroys them. So instead, they hide them and put them away for no one to see. And this monster is so frightening that it can appear in different forms and at different times and even go unnoticeable. Of course, the monster I'm describing is the social construct that is classism. Duh. That was so obvious, right? Classism usually isn't a topic of conversation as this, where it seems outdated. It was just not usually part of the conversation, but it should be, and it really is, for it intersects with popular conversations that we're currently having in America with racism and gender, where they all intersect. For example, you might not outright judge someone on their income straight out, but we are all participants in this continuation of classism. Some examples include the stereotypes placed on income classes. For example, such as lower class individuals being perceived as lazy because they receive government aid, but it is not brought up how minimum wage is still $7.25 while the price of living has increased. And it's not fair. But we have to also look at how lower income areas in inner cities don't receive the same amount of funds for educational resources or educational opportunities like their suburban counterparts. And guess who lives in these lower income areas? Did you say people of color? You would be right. And that leads to many of them not getting those same opportunities and why they get stuck in lower middle class. And where gender ties in is that a lot of the males in these communities are stuck in the school to prison pipeline, which is a whole separate conversation that we'll get into another day. But it's also because people are not getting married as much, and also the fact that divorce rates are increasing and people are getting married less. So Jordan Peele realized this. He realized this is all going on and this is not the forefront of the American image. For these people are usually hidden away. But Jordan decided it was time that they really were to be brought to light. If it wasn't as obvious for some of you, I'd like you to pay attention to the film. You may miss it if it's your first time watching, but if you haven't seen this film, try to look at the invisible monster. See what your country could look like if we continue to ignore it. Do you agree that this will be our future if we continue to ignore this invisible monster that is classism? Enjoy the film.